Hi there, Infiniti owners. Today in your 2019 Infiniti QX60, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install Curt's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. It uses a 5/8 cinch, hitch pin and clip. Now one doesn't come included with the hitch, but you can pick one up here at etrailer.com. On the bottom we have our safety chain loops, and they're the plate style with a fairly large opening that should accommodate most safety chains. It features a 600-pound tongue weight, and that's the force going down on top of the receiver. And that's more than enough for a bike rack loaded up with 4 bikes or a cargo carrier fully loaded up. It's also capable of a 4,000-pound gross towing capacity, which is the amount that it can pull behind it. And that's going to be more than enough for your pop-up campers or if you have a smaller medium-sized utility trailer that you want to use. It is rated for use with a weight distribution system. And when using one, the tongue weight will remain the same, but our gross towing capacity is going to increase to 5,000 pounds. Now, as always, you want to verify in your vehicle's owner's manual and ensure you don't exceed any of its towing capacities. Now I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, it measures about 5 inches. This is important when determining if any of your folding accessories can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube, it measures about 15 inches. This is important when determining if you need a drop, a rise, or a raise shank on any of your accessories. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's go over the installation together so you can have the confidence to do it at home. Inside the compartment on the passenger side, you'll see a small cap. We're going to turn that counterclockwise to remove it, and you'll see a bolt located down below. We'll use a 21mm socket, and we're going to loosen this bolt, which is going to lower down the spare tire. Now with our spare tire out of the way, we can come underneath the vehicle and we're going to remove the tow hook on the driver's side. There's 4 bolts that hold it in. We'll use an 18mm socket to remove those. There's 2 in the side of the frame. And then there's 2 in the bottom of the frame. We can then set our tow hook aside as we won't be reinstalling it. We'll now need to trim out a small rectangle at the center of our fascia here at the bottom for our receiver to fit through. I've gone ahead and marked it out, and you can find these measurements in your instructions. We're going to use a cutoff wheel to cut out the area that we marked. You can then take a file and clean up the rough edges around your rectangle that you just cut out. If you had any markings left behind when you were marking it out, go ahead and clean those off now. We're just using a little bit of rubbing alcohol to clean that off. There are a couple of clips on the bottom we're going to remove. Use your flat-bladed screwdriver to pop this out in the center. You may need to go at it from both sides. Once you've popped the center tab out, the rest of the pin will just pull out of there. You're wanting to make sure you remove the pins that attach to the brackets located on the back side. This way we can pull it down from those brackets. Now the instructions don't have you remove these brackets, but it'll be a lot easier to get your hitch in place if we just go ahead and take these all the way out. There's 1 bolt that holds it on here. We're going to use a 12mm socket to remove that. We'll then remove the one on the other side as well. Now with the next set of hands, we'll lift our hitch into position. And we'll need to maneuver it behind the bumper. Then we'll take the bolt that comes in our kit, place a conical tooth washer on it with the teeth facing away from the head of the bolt, so they're facing towards the hitch. And then we're going to thread it into the weld nuts found in the bottom of the frame. Once you've got one on each side, the hitch will hold itself up, making it easier to install the rest of your hardware. We can now tighten down all of our hardware using a 19mm socket. And then we can go back and torque all of our hardware to the specifications found in our instructions. We can then reinstall the brackets we removed. Just put those back in place and tighten them down. We can then put the pins back in. And you'll notice here that when you try to push the center of the pin back in, it actually hits on the bottom of the hitch. So you may need a screwdriver or something to keep pressure downward as you push the pin up. We can then put our spare tire back in place. And that completes our installation of Curt's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2019 Infiniti QX60.